Blessed love, and thank you for joining me here once again. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that whatever content you see on this channel will be beneficial to you and it will be beneficial to others. If it is beneficial to you, remember to share the channel. So my name is Darren, and I am a child of God. I am a husband, I am a son, I am a brother, I am a friend, I am a nephew, I am a whole heap of things. I am a registered nurse, I am a whole heap of things, you know. So this channel will be a mixture of everything. This channel will be a mixture of me talking about my faith. It will be a mixture of me talking about my journey overall, whether it be in marriage, in my career, in whatever it is that pertains to me. I can only speak from my experience, and I'm hoping that that is what this channel will be about. It will just be an extension of me. So again, if you're new here, thank you for being here. Yeah, so I'm going to answer in this video. I'm just going to be answering a question that I get all the time. I used to get it more when I was in Jamaica, but I get this question all the time, and this question is, why nursing? Why did I become a nurse? I think the reason why I got this question more back in Jamaica is because back in Jamaica, being a male and a nurse at the same time is not that common. Versus here in America, there are a lot of male nurses. Like every turn you see another male nurse. So in Jamaica, I would feel kind of lonely in that regard. But since coming here to America, whole heap, there's a lot of male nurses here in America. So yeah, that's another part of my story. If you're new to this channel, I am Jamaican, as you can hear. I am Jamaican, but I migrated to the United States maybe about 3 years ago. Yeah, so this is why I became a nurse. So quick backstory. Growing up, I always knew somehow I would be in healthcare in the earlier parts of my childhood. So I remember when we used to watch, we used to have cable. And I remember I used to watch this channel called TLC, and on TLC there used to be this show called A Baby Story. A Baby Story. I believe that's what it was called, A Baby Story. And you might find that weird, right? That I was at that time 8, 9, 10 years old, and I used to literally sit down and watch A Baby Story for hours. The whole process of women in pregnancy, babies being delivered, and the whole hospital, you know, all the hospital scenes and all those things. I just find it interesting from a very young age. And at that time in my life, I wanted actually to be a gynecologist. I wanted to be a gynecologist. That is what I wanted to be for many years, right up to my late teens or early teens, I believe. I wanted to be a gynecologist. So I knew from an early stage that I liked healthcare. Right? Bam. So that's my early years. So I had that drive, or I had that thing within me that said healthcare is for you. You know? When I think back as well, something strange that I remembered is my father used to deal with cattle, with cows and them something there. And I remember him used to have some syringes that they used to inject the cattle. I don't know if it is with what kind of medication it is, if it was for antibiotics or whatever it was. I don't know what they used to use them for. But I remember, you know, growing up and playing with my cousins and so, we used to kind of teeth out the syringes and fill them up with water and get grasshopper. It's so weird now when we think about it. We used to catch grasshoppers out of the bush and thing and inject the grasshopper, and, you know, because we medicate them. That's the weirdest thing. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds so crazy, but a child will be a child, right? So yeah, so right then and there, when I think back on these things, I say, you know, it's like I was born to do this. You understand? It's like I was born to do this. But then fast tracking now and go through high school and so on, and at some point I decided that I really want to be no gynecologist. I don't want to be no doctor again. I wanted to be a politician. You might hear this now and it sounds so far-fetched, from injecting grasshoppers to wanting to be a politician. How did I get there? Long and short of the story is, over time I realized that I had some very unique people skills. And for whatever reason, people were drawn to me, and I could somehow influence people, whether for the good or for the bad. You understand? And I also, over time, got involved in student government, and it became even more pronounced when I got to university. So fast track, gone through high school now, got to university. I went to the University of the West Indies, and I was living on Chancellor Hall. And while living on Chancellor Hall, I got involved in student government at the hall level. So it's like in Jamaica we call it a hall, but in the United States, you would say it's a fraternity. Yeah. So I got involved in that. Over time became the black representative. I was at a stage where that's a whole different story though. But I got to a stage when I was about to run for hall chairman, came out of that race, even though I was being pushed by others, by my peers, to pursue that. It just wasn't that for me, but that is a whole nother video, and I'm going to make a video about that part of the story. But long and short of it, I started University of the West Indies doing political science. Political science was my major when I started University of the West Indies. When I started UWI, political science was my major for my first year of college. And I remember how I ended up switching to nursing. This is how it happened. As simple as this. I went to a political meeting, right? I went to a political meeting and I had a conversation. I will not name the party right now. You understand? Because I don't want the tribalism and all of that here. Right? That's not the aim here. I went to a political meeting and I had a conversation with then, I believe, was he a senator at that time? I believe he was a senator. I don't remember what he was. But I had a conversation with, and I don't think you'd mind me calling his name, with Damian Crawford. Right? Oh, but then and there, which party that was. But Damian Crawford, I believe he's a senator right now. And I had a conversation with him, and he was saying, he was asking me about my aspirations, like education was, like what I was doing at school, and what my plan for do, what is my vision and my aim. And I was telling him that I was doing political science. So I say, yeah, feel good, I tell him and say, I do political science. So he must have said, yeah, I do the right thing. No. He said I should do my research and check in Parliament how many of the politicians actually have a degree in political science. Right? And trust me, if you check the stats, it's not a lot. Or if any, it's not a lot of them. Right? They're either businessmen, medical doctors, lawyers, etc. They're from engineers, different areas of life, different fields. And I kind of think to myself now, I say, boy, there's some wisdom here, there must be a reason. There's some wisdom here. I'm think about it, I'm say, all right, what can I do? I'm say, at the time, I never had the qualifications to transition into medical school. So I say, all right, I don't know where it come from, but in retrospect, I know say God. In retrospect, nursing just pop up in my mind, in my spirit. It just came up. It's like almost out of nowhere, because at no point I ever wanted to be a nurse. While I wanted to be in healthcare, at no point did I ever say I want to be a nurse. You get me? So, boom, I say nursing. And then I started thinking about the idea of nursing. I say, because at this point now I start thinking practically. I say, guess what? I want a job that is, first of all, secure. People are not going to stop sick until the Lord return. And this world is no more. People will always be sick. That is a bad thing, yes. But at the end of the day, nurses are essential. So I say, all right, bam, job security. I was also thinking about marketability, and not just marketability in Jamaica, but marketability in the wider world. I was well aware that the world was more than Jamaica. You understand? I say, all right, in the event that I wanted to migrate, because migration was, in the back of my mind at some point as well. I say, in the event that I want to migrate, I need to do something that I can transition with easily. Bam. Nursing again. You understand? And I remember it was just a random night. We go check one of my friends. I had a friend down at Rex Nettle. If you're familiar with UWI, down at Rex Nettleford Hall, I'm going to go check her and thing. And group of us are there. And I remember we just jump on our computer and I sent in like a transfer. I don't remember if it was a transfer. I did the application or whatever it was to the Department of Nursing. Bam. 2 2s by a quint. I don't remember the time period. Because yeah, I tried to transfer departments. By a quint, I got a response from the Department of Nursing that I was accepted. And I think at that time, like, you had to do some kind of interview. Let me tell you, I know say God. Like, in retrospect, I know it is God. Because there was some, what do you call it now? There was an interview that I believe you had to do. I never did that interview. Or maybe they started with the batch after me. But I don't remember. I never did that interview to actually get into the department. You get me? So that is one. But it happened so quickly. Yeah? So, got into nursing. I try to cram everything in one. Got into the nursing department. But remember, as I said earlier, I was living on Chancellor Hall. If you know anything about Chancellor Hall, it is all male and it is alpha male, and you know how that go already. And remember, the thought came to me like, yo, how am I gonna tell my brethren them say I go do nursing? Like, remember saying, no, I was pursuing politics, yeah, and getting in those kind of circles, and what come with that. And if you go tell them now, say, yo, say a nursing I'm gonna deal with, though. I mean, I tell you, it is rough. It was a rough transition in that, in Jamaica, Jamaicans, we mind not really open to certain things. You understand? Like here, how certain them open to certain things in Jamaica, there are certain things that are just specific to whether male or female. I mean, I tell you now, when I tell them, say, I got turn nursing them, and I tell you, they had a feel there. Them call me sister, then call me matron. In America, let me just kind of explain. In America, it's called a charge nurse. So the sister, that's what they were calling me. So they might call me sister, they might call me matron, they might call me this, they might call me that. Then laugh after me. Let me tell you, they laugh me to scorn. But looking back, that was just life. That was just, man and man stay already. But anyways, got through that, started nursing. When I started nursing school, I believe it was just 3 of us in the class. About 100 women and about 3 males. And I remember something specific about that transition as well. Is that my friend them, at first, them used to mock me and da. And it's like, after they realize, say, yo, I'm one of 3 males amongst about 100 women. Their mindset changed completely. Their mindset was completely changed. Like them, I say, there may be some benefit to this, but that's a whole different story, But yeah, transition into nursing school, I was one of, as I said, 3, and it got to a point where I was one of 2, because one of the guys I think dropped out and thing, and yeah, the rest is history. Like, I have a whole heap of story about nursing school and transitioning from one school to the next, but that's a whole different story. But in a nutshell, that is how I started doing nursing. Yeah? It was just a logical thought and a logical, like a plan for my future. And I say, this makes sense. And right now, in retrospect, we give God thanks. Because how I came to America is not because of nursing. My wife is actually from, like, she's Jamaican, but she lives here. So that is how I actually got here. So it's like, the story that a lot of Jamaicans have coming to America, where their transition is so hard and they have to do all kind of odd jobs, to kind of make ends meet before them can go back to school to get different certification and I never had to go through any of that. Because when I came here, all I did is sit down for a couple months, study for my NCLEX, pass my NCLEX, thank God, on the first try, bam, I am now employable in the United States. So looking back, it was a smart move. I thank God for the inspiration. It was a smart move. Right now, it is not the end all be all. I don't think I'll be a nurse for the rest of my life, because I know I have different other strengths. I know I have other passions, and me just go and do it for now, because it allow me to provide for my family. It allow me, to help other people. It's maturing me in many different ways, So again, this is just a snapshot of the whole story of how I became a nurse, and I just want to use this opportunity to encourage another man out there who, Jamaican society set up already, and certain things people might frown upon, even though I think we should be evolving from that by now. If your desire is to become a nurse, yo, do it. If you know say deep within you can do this thing, do it. Don't make because of what people are going to say or what people are going to think and stereotypes and whatever, do it. Do it. If it's here just sing a your thing, brother. You see me? If you're good at that, and when you go so bam and do some box braid or some, I don't know, I just know the term from my wife, box braid, whatever they something them name. If that is what you're good at, do it. If I nails, when I come to America, my eyes open to a lot of things, When I came here and saw men, especially the Vietnamese men, doing nails. You understand? And them a do the French tip and the this and the that, and them a do the coffin shape and the, you know them something, man. When I came here and saw men thriving at these things, me I say, wait, that's why people for travel. That's why people must go other places and broaden their horizon. You understand? Because you can't allow stereotypes, you can't allow what people to say, to detract you or bring you away from what your gift is. Like if that you good at, bro, do it. You understand? So yeah, this is just my little story of how I became a nurse. If you have any questions, any concerns, if you have anything to share, just leave it in the comment section and I'll try to answer it in another video. I couldn't say everything in one video, but yeah, this is just me, I share a part of the story, yeah? So thanks again for joining me. Remember to subscribe to the channel. More content to come, alright? Blessings.